All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. I believe that this will be our last video where we will discuss new things working with Microsoft PowerPoint. Next week we will be doing kind of a summative project where you guys will be demonstrating the skills that we learned, and that would be your final project. Very similar to what we did at the end of Microsoft Word. All right, so without any further ado, let's get into our classwork for the week. First off, note that we do have some edu-typing to do, practice library, study skills for success, and 2 5-minute timed writings. I will say that our goal for the end of the semester should be upwards of 40 GWAM, that is like WPM, words per minute. Between like 40 and 45 words per minute really is the goal that you should be shooting for. Now, I will say that 40-45 GWAM is just a good kind of worker's typing speed, but for people who are typing on a regular basis and that are really doing it kind of professionally, it's not uncommon to see 80-90 words per minute for those really, really good typists. So if you are typing above that speed, that is definitely worthwhile, and continue to try to practice your typing skills so that you can get better and better and faster is a skill that is very much worth it for you guys. All right, at any rate, let's go back to PowerPoint. So here's PowerPoint activity 8 as we left it, showing the different things that we've worked on, including our table, which we worked on last. And if I click on slide 1, we're going to go ahead and we're going to save this file, save as, and save the new file as slide activity 9. Okay? All right. So here we go. When we're working with PowerPoint, what we're creating is, of course, a presentation, right? We are presenting information to an audience. We might be doing that live by speaking, or we might be doing that over the internet by sharing it with others, okay? But if we are speaking alongside our PowerPoint presentation, which is a really common method for doing this, all right, you've got your teacher speaking information, and they've got the PowerPoint up behind them. All right. There's a classic mistake that people do. I think I see people doing it both young and old, experienced and inexperienced. And I think that universally people know that it's a mistake, but they do it anyways, which is to read directly off of the slide. So it's to read word for word what the slide says to the audience. I see people do it all the time. You see people do it all the time. You know it's wrong. They know it's wrong, but we do it anyways. Why do we do it? We do it because we're not prepared. We do it because we're not thinking really hard about what we want to actually say. But when the circumstances are right, when you're prepared, and when you're using PowerPoint or any presentation software properly, that presentation is meant to enhance your message. You are the speaker. The presentation is giving you a visual aid to help, your audience see what you're talking about, help them understand the words that you're saying, to give you like some, visual tools to help express the ideas. So it's not doing, and people, when they see words up on a PowerPoint presentation, they can read it, right? So you're not doing them any favors by reading the slide off of just to them. All right, so what do? We prepare our presentation. One way that we can do that is by using notes. I'm going to show you how to get to that here. So I'm going to go here to the View tab, and you're going to see that we've got a couple of different views here. What I'm going to click on is Notes. And when I click Notes, you're going to see a little window appears underneath my slide, and I can type here. Okay, I can click and type my text here. Okay, I can click back and keep working on my slide. If I don't have anything there, it says click to add notes. Okay, all right. So let's go to slide 2. You don't usually say a whole lot about your opening slide. We're going to leave that as is. But on slide 2, you're going to see that I added some notes. I wrote, using PowerPoint is easy if you know the basics. Here are 3 topics we will discuss to get you started. Then I gave myself a little note with asterisks. I said, click mouse to reveal 3 topics. Boom, boom, boom. Okay? I'd like you to go ahead and type this for the notes in slide 2. Pause it if you need to. And then in slide 3, we're going to type, when designing a slide, there are 2 methods for giving your slide a splash of style. Okay, we've got the Design tab, Designer View. So again, I'm basically telling myself what I want to say when each of these slides comes on the screen. Not exactly, I'm not just reading the words. I'm introducing and providing context for those. And slide 4, I've got one last piece of text that I want you to enter. Adding style to your text can come in many different forms. Click to reveal the Apply Style to Text. Even shapes and placeholders can be given style. Click to reveal Apply Style to Shapes. Okay, so here I'm giving myself kind of written text that I want to speak to my audience. And I'm also giving myself instructions on how to go through the slide and how I want that done. Okay? All right, I could go on to my other slides, but that's enough to give you an example. So we're just adding these slides to 2, 3, and 4. I would like you to make sure that you do that. And what we would do, what's the purpose of actually putting these notes down here? I'm going to show you, although my computer seems to be having some issues with displaying the notes page. So let me just show you. We're going to go into File and Print. I don't want you to print anything, but what we would do is we would click on Print Notes page, and you can see kind of an image of what it would look like. We have the slide image up at the top, and then underneath we have your written notes. So how would you use this? You would develop your presentation electronically. You would write out the notes, the things that you want to say as you're giving your presentation. And then you would go and you would print your notes pages so that on the actual, presentation day, you'd have your packet of notes. And picture yourself standing in front of a podium. You set your packet of notes on the podium. You've got your presentation behind you. And you go ahead and you speak to your audience, flipping your pages as you click through the different slides. And this way you can be speaking at your audience, not looking behind you at the presentation. You can be speaking words, to enhance your image, your message, and to speak your words without having to go back and just kind of read the words off the slide, which is a big no-no, okay, a really common mistake. So that's what notes pages are for. They print them off nice. Now, I can't really show you because when I click on this button, it shows me garbage. I'm not sure why my computer is doing that, but on most computers, desktop computers, this will work just fine, okay? There's not a lot of tricks to it. I do want to show you while we're here, you can also print out handouts. Handouts are really useful. What it does, it gives the slide on the left, and it gives blank lines on the right. And you can imagine this would be really useful for a teacher, or maybe you're doing a business meeting and you've got 5 people that are watching your presentation. Maybe what you want to do is print out 5 handout packets so that people, while they're watching your presentation, they have a space where they can write their own notes, okay? And they can, that can be really nice for them, okay? All right, at any rate, so we're talking about printing notes. We're talking about printing handouts. There's one last thing I kind of wanted to show you here, which is in the slideshow tab. There's this really cool thing on Office 365, which is this Rehearse Coach. We're going to look at that really quick. I'm also going to, and I would like you to do this, click on your subtitles. We have an option to actually create some subtitles. I'm going to put them below my slide. I'm actually going to put them at the bottom of my slide overlaid there. And I'm going to click always use subtitles, so this is clicked to on. All right, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on my rehearse coach. Let's click on slide 1 and let's rehearse from here. Boom. So I'm going to get this little pop-up right here. It tells me that I can go ahead and I can speak through my slides. And do I want to show real-time feedback? So go ahead and just watch as I do this. Please be patient as I kind of bumble my way through this unrehearsed message. All right. I'm presenting my original presentation. Understanding PowerPoint can be really easy. There are 3 fundamental skills that we can use to help us get started. We're going to learn the basic layout of PowerPoint. We're going to learn how to enter new slides. And we're also going to learn how to apply some really basic design. The Design tab, we select a pre-made theme, or we can use the designer view. I was hoping that it would give me some feedback. You'll notice on the right hand side it's kind of giving me some different pieces of information. If I go ahead and I say a lot in here, it'll say something to me. So I'm going to apply some text font size and some font style and font color. Oh, hey, now it's not doing it. Hey, there we go. Try not to use It also tells me different things about my pitch variation. It gives me little added kind of attaboys if my voice is working well. So what it's doing is it's kind of analyzing my voice as I'm speaking my way through the different slides. It's also watching my pitch, my pace, and you're going to see that it's going to give me a little readout at the end of this presentation. So I go through and I complete, this is how we create smart art, and some really important concepts we need to be keeping in mind with our smart art, blah, 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 blah. And I'm going to go ahead and pause my coach. When I press escape outside of my presentation, it's going to give me this rehearsal report. So this is a cool tool, I think. It's new and it's interesting to me. So it's going to tell me how much time I spent on my presentation, which is great. It's going to tell me how many slides I went through. It's going to give me some information, like I'm using the word It says I avoided reading the slide text out loud. So I guess obviously it didn't catch that one slide that I read out loud. But it's going to try to check for that. It's going to check my pace, how quickly I'm speaking. So it gives you this like interesting feedback. All right. It's also going to give me some speech refinements. Wow, check that out. So on different slides, it can tell me like I used really basic. Maybe I should just use the word basic. So it can give you some very kind of basic feedback on how you do your presentation. Once I've rehearsed it, and I close this, if I go ahead and I start from the beginning of my presentation, there's going to be some subtitles. I don't know, is this going to read out? Yeah! So this is now giving subtitles based on what I say. So this is another thing that I can do with the subtitles on as I'm giving my presentation. This will subtitle my presentation for my audience, which is a great tool for folks who are hearing impaired. All right. So experiment with the rehearsal coach. See if you can get the subtitles to work. Make sure that you put in the different notes on slides 2, 3, and 4, and then you can go ahead and submit that. Next week, I'll be giving you a summative project that you can work on, and you can show off your creativity and how you create a PowerPoint presentation using the skills that we learned in this unit. All right, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.